Hey everybody, I'm Ethan.
And I'm Bobby.
And today we're taking a look at the electric bike company Model E.
Next on Now Let's Review.
Before we get into the review, I just want to let you know that the electric bike company did send us this bike for review, but that's not going to affect our review, and all of our thoughts and opinions in this video are based on our experience with this bike. To start off this video, it's important to note that our Model E is specifically spec'd out the way we wanted it. And since this bike is essentially fully customizable, the features, colors, materials, options, etc. may be different on our bike from other versions of the bike. The first thing to discuss about the Model E is the customization. When you go to the website, you can hit Build Yours, and you can choose basically everything about this bike that you want. You can change the color of the fork and the body and the fenders. You can choose whether or not you have fenders and the color of them. You can choose the color tires you want. You can choose whether you want black or brown leather. You can choose whether you want a basket, all kinds of really, really cool stuff. So you can make this bike extremely personal.
Yeah, it's like the Chipotle of bikes. You can kind of get whatever you want on each different item here. I think that's really cool because I didn't know that until you just said it now, and I can imagine all the cool ways that I would customize this bike to look like my own, put my own personality in it.
The bikes arrive fully assembled, which is convenient for people who don't want to deal with the last stages of assembly required with most bikes. These bikes are assembled in Newport Beach, California, and the attention to detail and quality control is definitely some of the best I have ever seen. The frame is high-quality aluminum. The paint job is exceptional thanks to their 7-step painting process, including 3 coats of paint and 2 coats of sealant, and the wiring is nicely integrated into the frame to keep things from getting cluttered.
I'm very impressed with how well tucked away the cords are. It seems like it's very well put together. All the welds are really, really nice. It seems like one big piece, like nothing's gonna break apart. I'm pretty impressed, especially with the leather handlebars.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, the quality of materials is really, really nice. It's like nice leather on the seat and the handlebars, aluminum frame, really well put together. Like you said, the welds are good. Just every part of this bike is well made. All the materials are nice. It's got metal fenders and it's stainless steel hardware, so it's not gonna rust, it's gonna last a while. They really put a lot of care into making this bike a high quality product.
Yeah, nice lights. And one thing that really stands out to me is the covering on the wires here, the brake cables. It's really nice. Sometimes you just see it wrapped in like electrical tape. This is well put together.
The 26 by 2.35 inch Schwalbe Fat Frank E-Cruiser tires have a great width and grip very well, but are definitely for the road only, which is fine since this bike is definitely a road only bike. The tires are mounted on 26 inch double-walled aluminum 2-inch JETSET rims with 13 gauge stainless steel spokes. We'll put up a screenshot of the bike's dimensions so you can pause the video to look if you're interested. Mounted on the back wheel is a 1000 watt peak MXUS hub motor, which offers plenty of power for getting this bike up to speed. The motor can be controlled with 5 levels of cadence sensing pedal assist or with a thumb throttle on the right handlebar. Although cadence sensing, the pedal assist is smooth, the engagement and disengagement aren't too abrupt, and it actually assists more than it takes over your pedaling. The throttle has a decent response, although it is a bit jumpy at times, but it's still easy to control the bike with it. Our model has a single speed with a 58-tooth crank wheel and an 18-tooth rear gear, although you can option out a 7-speed version. Single speed bikes often run into the issue of either having a gear ratio that's too low or too high, but this ratio is a good balance of easy pedaling and a reasonable top speed. The top speed of the Model E is 25 miles per hour, which is plenty fast for this style of laid-back cruiser bike. Slowing down from those speeds is no problem thanks to the Bengal hydraulic disc brakes with 180mm rotors that offer great feel and stopping power. Mounted in the center of the handlebars is the color LCD screen that shows pedal assist level, speed, battery level and voltage, odometer, trip distance, time riding, motor power output, and even the outside temperature. Powering everything is a 48-volt lithium-ion battery with NMC cells that charges in 2 to 3 hours with the fast charger and gives the bike a claimed range of up to 50 miles per charge. If 50 miles isn't enough, you can choose a $400 upgrade for a bigger battery that gives a claimed range of up to 70 miles. Because of the weather and timing of making this video, I didn't get a chance to test the range of the Model E, but the riding I've done so far has used very little battery, and I don't doubt that 50 miles could be achieved with a low level of pedal assist and some flat roads. The riding position is very laid back. You sit completely upright, the seat is extremely wide and comfortable, and the handlebars are swept back so far that you almost have to hold the grip sideways. I'm personally not a huge fan of how this bike rides, as for me it is too laid back and upright, but if this is the style of bike that you're looking for, then I'm sure it will be a nice ride. So now, Bobby, you've also ridden this bike. Tell me a little bit about what you think about this bike based on your riding experience.
Yeah, I mean, like we talked about, the build quality is so nice, but where this bike kind of falls behind for me is the fact that there is not great suspension. I rode it back. It was a really cold day from the post office, and every time I hit a little bump, it totally rattled my whole body. There's absolutely no suspension on this thing. Any bump is gonna really hurt. I mean, the seat's very comfortable, so that's a plus. But that was kind of my only downfall with the bike, was the suspension.
Yeah, I agree. The lack of suspension is kind of a big deal around here. We're in New England, so the roads are shit, to be honest.
Lots of potholes here.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. And I know this is a California company. They were designing this bike for California people. The roads are all nice there. You don't use salt and plow and have snow and frost heaves and stuff, and you don't ruin your roads all the time. So all of your roads are nice and smooth. So a bike like this with no suspension is fine. Not the end of the world, although I do wish that with all the customization options available, you could choose to have suspension on this bike. The Model E weighs 56 pounds, so if you can find a way to mount it to a heavy-duty bike rack, it should be fine. It has a maximum rider weight of 350 pounds, which is a lot higher than many of the bikes we've tested. So you probably noticed that this bike has a pretty big front basket on it, and it's like actually a really, really big basket. So like, say you're riding in the spring or summer, you get too warm, take off your sweatshirt, get a water bottle, what else? You're stopping for lunch, you can put your helmet in there, you can put, I don't know.
Your other helmet.
And then like, you could fit a lot. So like if you went to the grocery store with this bike, you could probably actually bring a decent amount of food back with you. It also has a rear rack, which has this like spring-loaded clip on it. So if you put something down here, like a bag, I guess, you can let this thing go and it'll kind of hold it in place, which is really neat. Both made of metal, high quality. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do with this bike as far as putting stuff on it and bringing things places. Also on the rear rack, we have this very, very bright tail light. There's also two lights down here underneath the seat. They don't flash, which is kind of unfortunate. When you hold the brakes, they still just kind of stay on, which is fine. It gives you visibility. There is a headlight actually on the basket as well. So again, good for visibility and for being seen. But if you want to make your ride even safer, you can pick up one of these Lumos helmets. These are very, very neat helmets. They have integrated headlights and taillights. This one is the Lumos Matrix, so you can have all kinds of cool patterns show up on here. Has integrated directionals as well, so you can signal where you're going without even having to take your hands off the handlebars. So very, very cool helmets. They also have MXUS for added safety. So if you want to be seen while you're out riding a bike, which you definitely want to be seen because people drive like idiots, go and pick up one of these Lumos helmets from lumoshelmet.co and use our code NowYouKnowLumos at checkout to get a discount on your order. And that brings up the question, who is this bike for? This bike is not for someone like me who wants to ride on multiple types of terrain, who wants to, again, have that kind of forward lean, have that like more aggressive stance and be able to actually, pedal hard and put power into the bike. This is for someone who lives on the beach and wants to ride around their little coastal town and pick up groceries and just cruise around. And honestly, it is perfect for that. Yeah. It is perfect for
the
retired community. Yeah. Older people would love this bike. It's super easy to ride. It is stable because you don't have to lean over and you can sit upright. And just people who want a more comfortable ride, assuming you have smooth pavement. All right, so this brings us to the price. Do you have any guesses for the price of this bike?
Ooh, I would guess maybe $2,000.
All right, you're pretty close. The base price is actually $1,799, so
okay.
Sub $2,000, which is really impressive for the quality of bike you get.
Yeah.
It's really well made, but that is the base price, like with no options added on. If you fully spec it out, which I tried just to see how much it would be. This isn't fully spec'd out. This is just what we wanted for our model. But if you select all the top tier options, all the most expensive options, you can get this bike up to $4,600. Wow. That is a very, very pricey bike.
Yeah.
That having been said, again, That's all the options, completely spec'd out as much as you can get it. So finding a middle ground in there, you're probably gonna end up with a very reasonably priced bike that has everything you want. Well, thank you guys very much for watching this episode of Now Let's Review. Bobby, thank you for joining me. Jesse's out of the office today, so we had to just kind of keep the schedule moving. So Bobby filled in for him. Really appreciate it. Hey, if you like this video, hit the like button. It really helps us out. If you know someone who would be interested in this bike, share this video with them. And also, if you like bikes and scooters and cars and motorcycles and skateboards and all that, subscribe to the channel. We have lots of content. We've already made lots of content on the way, so stay tuned. And thank you for watching. Now let's review.